So even if you capture someone for 5 seconds to a whole minute, do it with a good purpose. Do it with good intent. Don't just worry about how many views I'm gonna get, how much money I want to get. Again, the money will come as a videographer. Don't worry about the money. That's my tip. Do not worry about the money. The money will come. Worry about the content you're creating and if it's true to you.
Hey, bro. So, all right. So, I am now on the line with a Mr. Diamond Rivera, who is a photographer as well as a videographer who travels the states, and you film dance congresses as well as festivals.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah,
Socials,
yeah.
festivals, congresses, weekenders. Yeah.
Hey, hey. So,
Yes, I'm born in New York. I'm a military kid. I was also living in Germany at one point, but basically New York, Harlem to be exact, Manhattan area.
okay, all right. So enough, man. And as well, you are the owner of Latin Chronicles, which is a company focused on giving an additional platform in the Mambo community in New York through audio interviews.
Yes, it actually started, if I can just give a brief summary. I was dancing, I've been dancing since 1995. So going
Hey,
from performing as a young kid, as an adult, I gained relationships with many artists in New York and abroad. And I wanted to now, we've seen like different video services that just show performances, but what about behind the scenes? What about having that one-to-one communication or that one-on-one talk with that artist that maybe you're nervous to talk to or you're hesitant, doesn't really know how to give that introduction. So I kind of break that ice with them and give them or give the audience a glimpse of these artists that they love and want to know more about.
okay. All right, that sounds very similar to what I'm trying to do as well, man.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. So, I guess I really want to start this out, Diamond, man. I'm very curious to hear about your childhood growing up in Harlem, and what was that like for you?
Well, to be honest with you, growing up in Harlem, for people who live in Harlem, is an experience. Most people say, if, "Are you from New York?" No, I'm from Harlem. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from Brooklyn. Harlem is actually not even like a borough. It's just Manhattan. It's kind of that collective of people that live here that have that authenticity, that soul. I'm a few blocks away from 125th, but overall, Harlem's culture is just different. The way people grew up is different. You kind of have that mentality of it's almost us against everybody else, which is really not true. But you kind of stand alone. I loved my childhood growing up in Harlem in different parts, lower Harlem, middle, and upper. It's different. It's eclectic. I'm actually mixed. Most people look at me and just say, "Hey, you're Puerto Rican." No, I'm actually Polish, Hungarian, African American, Puerto Rican, and it's like I was born in a mixed family, so I got the best of all worlds in a sense. So I mean, yeah,
Okay.
Harlem overall was amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Real quick, so tell me this, man. I guess what ethnicities are your parents then?
So my dad is fully Puerto Rican, and my mom is black and white. But when you look at them, they almost look. People assume they're the opposite. But it's amazing how my mom, who's not even Hispanic, has no Hispanic blood, cooks better than my father. So it's a crazy thing. But I actually got um, the entertainment aspect of loving entertainment, loving the lights from my dad. He went to a famous school called LaGuardia. People seen the movie Fame. That was a school he went to in that particular year. And it was almost like wanting to, I didn't know Spanish as a kid. I kind of am still learning. That's kind of my vice. So my grandmother or my dad always made sure that if you can't speak it, you better sure know how to dance it. So it's a beautiful thing growing up with parents of different backgrounds.
Of course, yeah, man. Um,
I want a toy truck. What? But Santa Claus. Oh, hold on one second, Santa Claus. Hold be right back. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe for the show, that would be amazing. Let's get back to the
yeah,
episode.
bro. So you were telling me, you told me the ethnicity of your parents, man. So let me tell you this. Growing up in a Puerto Rican and a pretty much a Puerto Rican household, right? I imagine your dad ran the show. What was it like growing up in that household, man?
To be honest with you, my mom was more of the tougher one. My dad was actually pretty docile, pretty quiet. He ruled, of course, but I think it was a joint. That was the beauty of it. I actually had a family. The mother was strong just as well as the father. And that, I think, built a really strong foundation and helping me be more balanced in terms of like my growth as a person. Because sometimes when, like, you can have two parents in the household, but if they don't know how to parent, there's definitely going to be an issue. I mean, I had parents that knew how to parent, to know how to give tough love, but also know when to let go.
I get you. I definitely understand that, man. Um, Let me ask you this, man. How important was music growing up in your household?
Music was very important. My dad sang a lot. Um, my aunt really introduced me to music. She was actually really involved in music in a sense. I would say my first glimpse of music I remember as a child wasn't actually like the. I grew up in. I was born 1990, but I actually was listening to music from the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. So I was almost behind. And when I became a teenager, I actually had to catch up. So I think understanding that type of music at a young age, even like 5 years old, listening to not just the Temptations, Stacey Lattisaw, Johnny Gill, yeah, just countless artists. It was amazing to see the instrumentation. At a young age, I was very catching sounds quickly. So, and then that kind of helped me transition to going into dance at the age of 5. So it was more of I could catch the beat, but my attention span was a different thing. So I think music always plays a role in a dancer and a person's life. Most people listen to music no matter what genre, but it can affect you differently. But thankfully, it affected me positively that it transitioned into dance.
I definitely understand it. So that was like kind of R&B then. Were you growing up with that music at all, or not really?
Absolutely, R and
Okay,
B.
okay.
Oh man, New Edition. Just Boys to Men, Silk. It's just endless. It's just so many artists that we take for granted now. That I think that helps me. It molded me into a different person. I'm more of an old soul now. I
Okay.
consider.
Yeah, shut up, man. So you said you started dancing at 5, but what got you into that? Was that your parents, your aunt, what?
Absolutely not. It was my grandmother. My grandmother was the one that said, "Hey, this boy can't speak Spanish, so he best well dance it better than anyone else." I mean, trust me, it wasn't easy. It wasn't like I was a breakout. Oh my God, this kid's amazing. No, I was a hard kid to teach because my attention span was very just everywhere. I went to a school called Starlight Dance Studio of the Bronx that was run originally by David Melendez. I don't know if you've heard of him, but this is actually the man that created the New York Salsa Congress, created the Texas Salsa Congress, congresses in China back from the early 90s. And a lot of people don't just understand that going to a school like that, it wasn't just like a regular dance school. You go to 1 hour, 2 hours, you go home. It was almost like a college, a high school. You went through semester by semester. The more knowledge you got and the more routines you did, the more people saw. The teachers saw and said, "Hey, we can elevate this kid." So I was kind of in like an academy from 5 all the way to about like 18. So that I think that helped
That's
me.
amazing.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different experience than most dancers who just they go to a teacher, they learn, they train, and then they start going to socials and networking, and then people want them to teach. No, I had to go through a school. You had to learn your basics from 5 to 8. I was just doing basics, and back then I didn't like it, but now I understood it. You had to learn. You had to go through the ropes. I was part of the old school salsa dance schools and growth of that.
Okay. And so I'm curious, did you stick with it for that long because you loved it, or something that your grandma made you do?
No, she made me do it when I was a kid, and I wasn't. She told me I wasn't going to get out, so I decided, hey, I guess I'm just going to stay. I think the game changer was I was in a group called Fuerza Gigante. I was chosen to be it. When I was a kid, even though I was a little erratic, I was very emotional in that dance. So it showed. And after a while, I was like, all right, cool. If I just do these routines and just do it the way I do it with a lot of emotion, raw energy, and these people like it, and then I get to go travel, okay, just keep going. I think my first trip was the Los Angeles Salsa Congress in 2004 or 5. My first show, and then I was like, wait, so if I perform around all these people and I just give my all and I can keep coming, why not? That
So
was
you
the
about what
first.
14, 15 at that time, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it could have been, it maybe might have been 2003. It was with a group called Fuerza Gigante. It was a collection of people. It was taught, the routine was taught by Edwin Rivera and Yesenia Parata. I remember that vividly. See, like a lot of people who are salseros and people like Edwin Rivera from Los Angeles, like he was actually my teacher from ages 10 to 16. So I
So
was, yeah, I'm sorry.
you good. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I am not too familiar with a lot of Latin superstars,
Yeah.
man. So I mean, yeah, you said like a high accolade. What was it like training under Mr. Rivera? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Edwin Rivera. I guess it was different because we were in the same dance school for years, and he was just older than me. Um, I think too, what helps is that you're learning from someone that you grew up with and you respected, and they went to LA and they made it. Like you had a person from your school who went to California for the dream, as they say, and made it. You know, from the salsa events, that also helped project then bachata. A lot of people don't see. It had to start somewhere, meaning we always had bachata and salsa. The salsa congresses were elevating, and of course, over time, people who dance bachata wanted their own thing as well. And that's awesome. Have everything.
I get you, man. That's definitely true. I think as of recently, having kind of the tables turned, isn't bachata becoming a little bit more popular now?
To be honest, in my opinion, as now a videographer, it's not so much that it's become more popular. You know what? Yeah, I think it has. And in the retrospect, that a lot of people, from me going from salsa to bachata, that was an easy transition. It was just less steps and a lot more connection and movement.
I
I
said
started,
I think it's an easier dance to learn. I think bachata's an easier dance to learn.
yes, it is. I mean, from people like a lot of people don't know Alex and Desiree. A lot of these artists that we see started at salsa. So it was that the transition there. I enjoy it. I love it. I love bachata. I love salsa. I think the issue with people is that when they see bachata now, even whether it's traditional, bachata is bachata, but people want to categorize and generalize. You have your Dominican bachata, sensual bachata, urban, everything. When it comes to bachata now, people are more, it's eye catching than salsa sometimes. It is. I was a salsero. I know already, but like with bachata, it's a fewer steps, but you can add a lot more in sometimes. And those dances by certain dancers can captivate people's eyes and attention. It's an attention grabber, um, but it's only attention grabbing and good when it's done right. Because as a videographer, I see people don't know I see everything. I'm filming the good and the bad.
I know it, man. Dude, so I definitely want to get into the videography, man, because that is, that's really cool, man. Let me ask you this though, man. Going back to when you were, 5 years old, man. Tell me about, if you even remember, tell me about your beginner stage. What was it like learning to dance?
To be honest, learning to dance at 5, I vividly remember getting kicked out of classes a lot. It was mainly because I was just like rambunctious, full of energy. But I remember my one teacher, Erica, I forgot her last name, I'm sorry, but she knows who she is. She told me, she said, I knew from 5 years old that even though you were crazy and you were doing whatever you wanted, that I needed you in my classes every year because I knew if I groomed you, you have the energy and the potential and the presence on stage already. Now I just had to compartmentalize it with learning the routine, doing it right, but doing it you. That's the thing. It's at 5 going to a school that every Saturday from 9 a.m. to almost 5, 6 p.m. I'm dancing, taking classes. And I'm with kids from 5 all the way till 18. So it was like almost like a whole school from like kindergarten all the way to 12. So that was a different experience of just being, I wasn't just with 5-year-olds. After class, I was with everyone.
I get you, bro. I definitely get you. So you're dancing since the age of 5, man. Looking back when you were younger, did you know, or was this something that you always wanted to do, or did you have different interests?
I wanted actually to play baseball. I wanted to play baseball. My grandmother took me out and said, "No, you're gonna dance." Yeah, it was definitely heartbreaking at that point, but the more and more I realized, I think I wanted to fill the void, and this is something I never really told people. I wanted to fill the void of what my father and my aunt did. My dad went to the LaGuardia school, and that's something I always wanted to do, but dance got in the way.
Real quick, what is a LaGuardia school?
LaGuardia School of the Arts, basically in New York, it was a school that was in a movie called Fame. That is like it's a high school performing arts school. So it taught drama, taught acting, it taught singing. People like Nicki Minaj, most people famously would know go there, but a lot of the most famous actors in the 80s and 90s had to go. Malik Yoba, different, just a well-rounded group of individuals during those times that became famous actors. And it was a school that bred success. It was something I wasn't able to go to, and my aunt, she was actually on Sesame Street. So it was like entertainment was always there. My mom wasn't really like entertainment based, but I always wanted to do something with acting or singing or dancing. But then being in salsa, it after a while it just made sense to keep doing it and see what could come out of it.
Okay. So it sounds like, so you want to be a baseball player or an actor, something in entertainment, or a dancer. So let me ask you this then. What, I guess, when maybe did you decide dancing was it? And like, did anything cause that specifically?
No, I think I realized. I mean, I did baseball as a kid. You want to do everything. It's just you see things that excite you and catch your eye. Oh my God, I want to do this. But I realized that my grandmother put me in dance and I was elevating and I was performing and I was actually traveling outside of just my borough and dancing. I would go to Texas, I would go to California, I would go to Boston, I would go to Philly. And it's like, wow, I'm just traveling. I'm doing stuff at a younger age that maybe other people older than me don't even have the chance to do.
So is it one of those things where you like what you're good at?
I love, it's not so much I like what I'm good at, I love what I'm good at. I love that people don't see, a lot of performers don't understand what I love about performing from my aspect is not so much just the glitz and glamour and the people that say, "Oh my God, amazing job." That's amazing. I love it. But the really great thing is talking to someone that tells you because of your performance, it makes me want to dance again. That's a different type of motivation. It's great to get the positive reviews, even the critiques, but I'm more interested in the people that I can say, hey, after the show, let's dance. I'm more of a social person because you never know who's in the audience.
I definitely understand that, man. So you're growing up, dancing, traveling, and everything. I guess tell me what happens after you graduate high school.
When I graduated high school, I wanted to be actually a cop. It was just something I was interested in, but I never stopped dancing. Actually, when I graduated high school, um, a gentleman named Fernando Avila and a guy named George Velasquez and myself, we created a dance group called East Side Edition. This was so I was dancing in Starlight Dance Studio from ages 5 to 18. Once I graduated high school, it was almost like, all right, you're out of here. So then this gentleman, Fernando, created a group called East Side Edition it was an independent group of 3 guys solo. perform together of different sizes. Like literally, you had a bigger guy, a skinny guy, and you had myself as little husky. So it's different elements. But we performed over 150 shows in 2.5 years, and that's grinding. That's like going to socials. That's like festivals constantly. Like every week, it was almost like 2 shows.
And real quick, is that how you made your money, or did you have?
To be honest, it wasn't even and we got money, but it really wasn't about the money because we grew up with the people we were performing for, and we were getting the recognition from the people, the elders, the people who allowed us to do what we do and perform places. It was more just the gratification of just being able to perform places and network and meet new people. I mean, a lot of dance groups, unless you have a company, a school, you're not making endless money. We made money to travel. We literally grassroots, like go to shows, fundraise. We would put in dues. Like this was a serious thing from 2010 to actually 2008 to 2010. I did that. So basically from 5 all the way to 21 and 22, I did that, and just more dance companies after that.
Who were your two dance partners in your team? What were their names?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Who were the two your dance partners? What were their names?
Oh, well, it was actually 2 guys. It
Yeah.
was so it was Fernando Avila and George Velasquez.
Okay.
And we were all in a dance school together.
I got you.
So it was almost like, hey, all right, we finished, we all graduated. So what are we going to do from here? Are we going to just stop dancing, or are we going to keep? And we kept dancing.
Okay. Hey, I get you, bro. Um, so it seems like you've obviously always had a passion for dancing, man.
Mm.
Um, have you? How can I say this? Has anything ever made you lose that love for it? I guess. Have you ever wavered from it?
The only time I wavered from it was when I went to the army. That's the only time I ever wavered from dance. Dance has always been a part of my life until I made the decision for about 4 to 5 months to go to the military and train to be a cook. Something I loved doing was cooking, and I knew I could earn a living in New York because cooking is endless here, and but still be able to dance. And realize I didn't know that even in the military, there's dances.
Nah, definitely, man. So, how long ago did you join the army?
I went in the army, enlisted, swore on January 24th, 2018, and graduated and left from MEPS, and graduated in July of 2018. And it's almost going on 2 years.
Close to it.
Um,
Close to it,
yeah.
man. Okay. And so I guess what made you join? Was it just a new opportunity or what?
I think it was a new opportunity. I did hear a lot of good things about it. For me, I was older, so I felt I can get a new perspective because most people go in the military a lot of times between 18 to 21 or 18 to 23. I was 26, 27 going in. So, I mean, I was a little more mature and had a focus. Don't get me wrong, it was tough, but it helped me even grow even more and understand myself more. I think that was going to the military helped my growth as a person and become even more disciplined with my dancing and filming.
I definitely understand that, man. So you joined the military in 2018. I guess when and what sparked your interest for photography and videography? How did all that come about?
So I started. Most people who really know me in New York knew I started doing photography maybe 2015, maybe 2016. Um, always loved visuals, and it actually was by accident. I was meaning to buy a video camera, but I was just at a pawn shop, and I bought a camera in New Orleans and didn't realize I didn't have a video option. So it just had photography. I was like, all right, I'm stuck with this camera. And I realized I wanted to do something with it creatively. Everybody wants to be a photographer, but I wanted to first start with the people who were close to me, and I met people in the bachata scene. It started like in New York, it was mainly salsa, but slowly they started to get into bachata because they saw the people wanted to do it in New York, and they started creating socials, and I started just going, and I had a camera. I said, hey, if you want to take some photos, let me know. After that, I said, I love the photography, but I literally did it for about 3 months. And I just said, all right, let me get a new camera with a video and start filming. And ever since I started filming, I never stopped. I
Okay,
never
so
went back to photography.
okay, so real quick, do you remember what that first or the second camera you bought was? The one that you could film with?
So the second camera I could film with was the Canon like T Rebel One, like the one eye, the three eye, one of
And,
those.
and how much did you pay for it?
Oh my God, maybe 325. I got it from a friend.
Okay, all right, sure enough. Okay,
Yeah.
and how long? So you started? Was that what? Maybe 16 when you got that?
Yeah, so like in 15, I had the regular photo camera. In 2016, I just bought the new camera and I wanted to start fresh and start with videos. I actually started with videos at my house, doing barbecues. And then it elevated to me going to socials and asking these guys that I would just go to and support their events, hey, can I bring my camera and film? I remember Alex at my escrow from New York who has Bachata Mania Social, Salsa Mania Social, Candela Fridays. It's a big thing in New York. He was the one that gave me my opportunity to come to his event. His was one of the first socials I came to and filmed, and I fell in love because just to see the look on people's faces, knowing that I can create something for them that's genuine. It's not just a normal person with a camera, but the way I film you is different. It's a different feel than just a camera with a light.
Ah, okay. So I want to talk about all this, man. So, but let me ask you a lot of questions. But,
Mhm.
um, so you started, I guess your videography in 2016. So you've been doing it
Yes.
close to about 3 years now.
Yes.
Um, what are some things that you know now that you wish you knew back in 2016?
I think don't be naive. Don't be naive. Don't be afraid to take a challenge. Sometimes playing it safe because you're starting out can be a hindrance. You really got to go for yours and take every opportunity. Don't get me wrong. I was going to socials left and right, but maybe staying a little longer on the subject that I'm filming. When I was when I first started, it was kind of trying to film. I would go to a social at 8 and literally try to film 4 hours worth of the footage. And then, of course, as you progress, you chop it down. There's less. I mean, you want to get good quality filming, but at the same time, you want to be in a precise time. And I think going to the military and learning that discipline, learning that time, and being on time, and shaving things and making sure everything's concise. That helped. That made me say, all right, I'm gonna make sure whatever I'm filming, it's genuine, but you're filming enough of that person, that couple dancing and capturing maybe that moment you probably wouldn't have caught before.
Okay, I get you. And so you're saying that you said you were more than just a guy with a video recorder and a light, man. What do you think you do special or different than other people?
I think what helped a lot of videographers who were dancers, is that we listen. I know the song that's playing. I'm constantly at these events, so I'm listening to the song. It's almost like a coach. I'm learning the game plan. I'm studying the dancers. I'm studying these people. So every time I'm going to these socials, I may not get you in this video, but I'm watching how you're dancing. So the next time I see you, I know when to catch you. A lot of times, um, and my biggest issue was I was going to socials. I didn't care for me being filmed, but I noticed a lot of socials would just film the highlights or the important people, the stars, the big names. But what for me? I wanted to film everyone, the people who paid to come see these people. It's a different feeling, just no one wants to go to an event year after year and never even see yourself in a photo, in a video. It's almost like, wow, like, why do I go? So I told myself, hey, I'm noticing the vice in what I'm seeing. So let me change it. Let me be the person who films everyone, from the person who performs and is a known dancer in the city who travels to the person who came for the first time because they were interested.
I guess you know. I definitely understand that, man. Let me ask you this: how how beneficial is it that you were a dancer previous and now also a videographer?
Yeah, for
How
me, I think the important thing is a dancer because a lot of these dancers who dance, I saw them when they first started dancing the bachata and how the scene started to grow. Because I was always a salsero, so a lot of dancers who switched into bachata, we had that relationship already. So I've seen you dance for years. So I came from a point of a friendship or a bond rather than someone who comes from God knows where, California, and just wants to film. It's a different relationship. You can see the genuineness in how I film things. The moments I capture are more emotional than just the quantity of things. It's, I'm capturing real life.
definitely, man. So let's continue on this then. So you said you had a gig tonight. Are you recording tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I have my actually I have my camera right
So
here.
enough. So yeah.
Um,
Well, I say that to ask you. So I guess what is your game plan when you have a gig? So you get there and like, yeah, what's going through your mind as the night progresses?
for me, if I have an event, especially when it's a social or congress or whatever, I'm always game planning 2 or 3 days ahead. This is different than other dancers who just or videographers who go and just film whatever's there. No, I'm studying what I'm going to film. I'm going to see the event, the info, the descriptions, who's performing, any special guests or anything. Uh, and also, I'll look at the footage maybe they have from their previous events, so then I get an idea of how things are showing. And then when I go there, I'm watching maybe I might go in there and just start filming because I feel it, or I'm surveying the crowd and seeing, all right, who feels comfortable? Because a lot of times, when you go to socials, you see couples that know how to connect when they're dancing, and then you see the opposite of the person who does not know what they're doing, trying to dance with someone who maybe does know what they're doing and doing too much because they see something and want to recreate it.
I definitely understand that, man. So I imagine getting nervous is probably a impact you have on people as well, correct?
I know what you mean. Sometimes, like especially when people get a camera, you get the reaction of, "All right, there's a camera," and then you get the opposite
You got to
reaction of,
show off, or
"Yeah, you got to show off," or "Oh, there's a camera." For me, what I do, this is something I've told a lot of people as a video guy in the scene. What I'll do as a tip is when you're filming a couple you know loves the camera, I sometimes guide my light to the opposite direction to see that person's reaction to light. That's a key because sometimes even if you move it and you see them squirm and you can see them move, okay, I know that's the difference. Try to make it more comfortable. And don't get me wrong, I have people that tell me, "Hey, I'm at an event. I wouldn't like to be filmed because of my job or such." Totally respect it. If you tell me that, I perfectly understand. Even though you might have a great dance, I would keep it and not put it out because out of respect to you. I think it goes both ways. Dancers and video people have that respect. It's not just me coming to a social having a camera. It's me coming to a social, dancing with you, talking with you, reminiscing about the last event we went to, and hey, I'd love to create a visual with you in it. And um, it's not about, oh, because you dance with this uh, really great dancer. No, I just wanted you to see yourself in a different light that maybe you've never seen yourself in.
okay. Let me ask you this then, man. Is there anything that dancers can do to improve their recordings? If you understand my question.
You mean the recordings of themselves when they're filming?
Yeah. So yeah, is there anything that they can do if you were to record them? You know, is there anything they should keep in mind?
Oh,
Don't,
yes,
don't
yes.
don't turn their back to the camera, obviously, something like that. You know.
My thing is this: I have to understand. I don't want to give too many rules and regulations to performers because this is their routines. I do is that I'm studying, like I say, I'll watch performances they've done before and learn the routine so I know when I go to this event, maybe the spacing is not too crazy, so let me go here. Or I know someone has their camera and they want to film this angle. Cool. I'm gonna hit another angle that you're not even thinking of that's gonna capture it a different way. I think a lot of dancers, what they should understand is I see your routine is great, or I see your routine has a lot of turns and body rolls, whether it's salsa bachata. But you need to not just smile, like you have a face, like give some type of emotion. Nothing is worse than seeing a performance and seeing just someone's stone face. And I've seen it. I've been to socials in New York that if you do not give a good show, they will not clap for you. It's real in New York. It's in certain places they will not because in New York so many people are dancing and performing, but what makes you stand out? You know?
And okay, so you gave it from for performance dancers. Let me ask you the opposite in there. So for social dancing, when you're doing just a social dancing,
Got you. So for social dancers, I think what they have to understand is that the camera is going to be there, but I don't want you to feel that you have to overdo yourself or show off. Just be you. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of people don't realize that even though I filmed a lot of amazing dance or amazing dancers dancing, but when you're showing off too much, it doesn't look good.
and it's probably because it doesn't look authentic, right? Is
Yes.
authentic the best thing for the camera?
Yes, absolutely. Authenticity is something I follow by 110%. I've seen a lot of video. I love a lot of videographers out there, but I wanted to make myself different by filming different. Filming it not just with the entertainment and commercial value, but like just filming it from my heart. Filming it how I think dancers want to see themselves. It's when I'm filming something, capturing a slow motion shot, capturing a vivid shot, capturing a behind shot of how they're dancing, seeing the fluidity. I think it adds more to the video.
I get you, man. Oh, I'm curious. Do you have maybe any tips for dancers on how to remain authentic? You know, to be genuine in their dance and not focus on the camera. Is there anything you can like offer?
I think with people, they also see is that with me, a lot of at a certain socials, I might not even use a light because I've configured my camera settings to um, give as much or take as much light from the light that they're giving me at the event. Because there's some events you'll have beaming lights everywhere, and then there's other events that you'll just have dark dim light, and you have to work with what the promoter gives you. My thing is, I can ask, but if they want to set this type of mood, I respect it and work with what I have. There's some events I don't use lights. Some events I do use lights because overall I need to make sure the quality is good. Don't get me wrong, I've made videos and then I see at the editing like, damn, and it's the lighting in this place is not great, and I have to really go heavy duty in the editing. But at the same breath, I mean, they people just understand that when I'm filming you, just be you, just be genuine. You don't have to do too much. I want to see a connection between you and your partner, not just you.
Right. That's very important, man. What you just said, definitely, man. Especially like in today's age of Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, man, where you're
Yes.
seeing so much performance dancing.
And that's the thing too. I think people have to understand is that a lot of dance videographers out here need a lot of people, like you said, Instagram, social media world. What we have is a camera. There's people that are going to use their iPhones and their Androids, and people are going to use their DSLRs and their mirrorless. I think sometimes everybody wants to be a video person because it gets views. But for me, don't get me wrong, views are cool, but I more enjoy just having a person message me and say, thank you for filming me. That's it. I mean, I've had views that I got 12 views on a video. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just happy 12 people even saw it. I have a video I did for a couple who do like lap dance classes on Facebook. It has over 1 million views, but I'm just happy people were able to see it. I mean, a view is a view, but for me, the reason I film is because I want to leave something behind when I'm no longer here. I'm creating hundreds of visuals for people to see when I'm no longer here. It's a greater purpose for me. It's not just, man, I got this camera and I just want to film everywhere. No, I want to do something greater and leave a mark behind 50, 60, 100 years from now that I have something I left to the world when I'm no longer there.
I definitely understand. I feel like being a videographer is kind of, I gotta say, like kind of like selfless because no one sees the man behind the camera.
Yes.
But like, but what you're doing though, if it's just two regular people, but you record them social dancing, that can mean the world to them, to just
Mhm.
have that and something to look at. So that's amazing, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. For someone who is an aspiring videographer, what words of wisdom or advice could you give to them getting, if they're just now getting into that field?
For an aspiring videographer, is do not be afraid to film what you're scared of. What I mean by that is sometimes you're filming something or you see someone else who's filming, you're like, oh my God, they have that shot. Maybe I shouldn't do it. No, get that shot. If you're at a social, people have to understand. For me as a videographer, when I go to an event and I see another videographer, I'm not like, oh no, just me. No, I want to work with you. For me, anybody who's aspiring, talk to people who do videos. When I first started doing videos as well, besides going to a salsa and a dance event, I was working with my boy who used to work with Revolt and go to his events. I used to do poetry when I was younger. Like I was a different, I had a different element to me. I did poetry. I went to events in Brooklyn. He used to have his camera, and I was his apprentice. I would apprentice him, and that's where I would learn as well, learning from the dance side, from the music side, from the acting side, looking at people filming, and it helped me gain more of a love. As an aspiring videographer yourself, I respect it because whether you use your phone or whether you use your actual camera, you're taking time out of your life to capture moments other people don't want to take the time to capture.
So just like you said, don't be scared to film something.
No, yeah, don't be because it sounds so like broad, but you'll understand when you're in those moments. As a filmer, film everything you want. Film things others won't. If you're really more serious and you want to get that camera, don't worry about getting a $3,000-$4,000 camera if you don't know what to do with it. I tell people all the time. I mean, there's a person I know who can do. I've done amazing things with a $250 camera that someone couldn't do with their high-end camera with a gimbal. The camera means nothing. It's all the person who chooses what to do with it.
No, I definitely understand that, man. Let me ask you this, man. So you obviously go to a plethora of different events, man. Can you put into words? Is there a difference between maybe a salsa event and like a bachata event? Are they very similar or
I
different?
mean, with the bachata events uh, from my side, being a videographer, it's a different relationship to the bachata socials compared to the salsa socials when I was just dancing. When I went into the bachata world, I performed a few times, but I was more into the videos. So my relationship was different with these events because I'm the one who is in charge of giving media. I get to go anywhere I want and film. From the salsa side, I would just perform and hopefully see a video myself. Now I'm the one creating the videos for others. And, people like George Elizondo from Dallas Bachata Festival is an example. I'm his media director. And to go from 2015, 2016, dreaming of having moments like this to now being able to go to a different state and create visuals for people and just for people to be thankful and see themselves. I'm showing everyone. I'm giving love to everyone. And the difference with me is when I'm filming, a lot of people don't know, at Congress and festivals, when I'm filming, I will literally go from from the performances to the social to a room at 3, 4 in the morning, edit, and by 6 a.m. the video's done. And by 10 a.m. the video's posted. So it's literally next day. That's a big difference between me and a lot of other video guys. I choose to take that extra time and stay up and film everything, put it together, boom. So on Saturday, Friday's video comes out. Saturdays on Sundays, Saturdays come on. Yeah, you understand what I mean. But just every day, I'm just pushing content out.
So I want to ask, what's required of a videographer, but real quick, I just want to make sure I don't forget that question. Uh, so like I said, you've been to a lot of events, man. Is there anything you've noticed that dance congresses and dance festivals that they can do better?
Mm, I
Anything that
think
sticks out?
I think I learned from going to an event like the Gospel Chocolate Festival. It's the way they cater to the artists. That's a big thing. This event I've been going to for almost 3 years straight. Like they cater to the artists. You have a 24-hour artist room that you can go away, you can eat, you can network, you can talk with people, reminisce. You have your own personal space. The promoter George, he truly knows how he develops relationships with artists. It's not just about having you at the event, be here and that's it. A lot of salsa events that I've been to, it's kind of just there's not really that many parties. I've noticed like the fun aspect on in my actual honesty, the bachata events, these like after parties, these parties are so much fun. The salsa ones are so much fun, but the people are different. There are people who are bachata, dance salsa, and vice versa, but like the parties and the element and the vibe is different. It's from my point of view.
I get you. I don't know if you answered my question. Is there anything they
Wait,
can
I'm
do?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll
you
do
good. You
better.
good. Yeah, is there anything they can do? Anything like just any flaws you notice? Anything
Um,
that just sticks. I'm just curious if anything.
I think with the biggest thing with both, or they really can do better, is shortening the performances because the attention gap of the audience is not that long. And I see as a video guy, from being an audience to being a video guy, it's like to go to an event, you got almost 40 shows. It can it can be a drain because and what happens? You're gonna probably go upstairs. You're probably gonna have your little party in your hotel room, and somebody's gonna say, "All right, when is this group coming up? We're gonna go down." And but also too, this the aspect of you're not respecting all the performers, but people also have to see both sides from the audience and the performance. It's like we understand you want to perform, but 40 shows, I'd rather have 15, maybe 20 because then we can go right into the social after that. I think from both aspects, there are events that have done the shortening, but I think that was the biggest issue was having 30, 40 shows a night.
Yeah, that I definitely understand that, man. Some people come for the shows and some people come to social dance, right?
Yes,
So I
that is
understand that.
true.
I understand that, man. Um, Let me ask you this, man. I kind of want you to kind of like a two-part question, man. Maybe
Mhm.
can you tell me what is required of a videographer, in your opinion, and what makes you special?
I think what should be required of a videographer is to know that you will put in a lot of hours um, of editing. Uh, because I understand you just want to capture moments in video and just put it out there, but take the time to edit. Take the time to color grade your work. Take the time to watch the details of what you're putting out before you just put it out. Um, also understand is that, if you start from the phone, you're going to have to gradually upgrade and definitely invest in a camera that works for you, not just the camera that you see that's the most expensive because it means nothing without your eye. Develop your eye. If you're a videographer and you like sports, like study sports, study these events, go to these events before you start videoing them so then you get a better understanding. And for me, what just makes me special is, or different, like you said, special, is more I choose to want to build relationships with the people I'm filming beforehand. So when I'm filming you, it's in your natural setting and you don't feel like a deer in the headlights.
Okay, and I definitely understand that, man. So real quick, tell me, I guess what is your current setup? You know, I guess what software are you using, and you know what phone or what camera are you using, if
Yeah.
you don't mind.
So I start right now. I am using a Sony A6500, Sony A6000, and a Canon 70D. The Canon 70D, I've been lucky enough to uh, have amazing times with that, and then I kind of slowly went into Sony. I really do love Sony a lot. It's more lightweight for me. And I for the editing, I use Final Cut. Most people like, oh my god, using Final Cut. I started from iMovie. I started from iMovie, and I wanted to master that. And I'm going for Final. And I'm going to master that, then go to Premiere and Sony Vegas. But my thing is, the less amount of effects I put on my videos, the better. The more naturalness, the better.
Okay, sure enough, man. I'm curious. Are you self-taught, or do you have any references that you use? I,
Um, Self-taught in the meaning of like the
I guess the
videoing.
whole yeah, all that, man. Yeah. Was it for you? Was it just do it, or did was it YouTube or reading books, anything?
For me, I think it was being doing the apprenticeship with my friends who would film and go to music videos and say, "Yo, come with me, hold my camera. I need you to film this. Stay right here. Hold this angle. Hold this camera here." And seeing, oh wow, I'm looking at the visual I'm making for someone else, of course, but wow, I caught it and it looks great for me, and maybe it might look great to someone else. Because again, you can't please everyone. There's going to be visuals that somebody doesn't like how they look, but maybe there's someone else that loves how they look. You know, that's really for me. It's relative. I mean, everything comes together from having that eye, from like training your eye, from getting that camera that fits you, from going to that event and seeing that person that you really enjoy dancing. Like I tell people, if you're a dancer, like you need to build those relationships with those video guys. It's not so much just to get you on camera, but maybe, hey, study yourself. Hey, take a video of me, send it to me, and maybe I can see some of the flaws I may have in certain points.
I think I talk to dancers, man, and what they tell me, a great way to improve your dancing is to record yourself dancing, and you can start to pick out the things that you don't like in your dancing style.
Absolutely.
So I definitely understand that, man. Um, I'm curious, when did you start Diamond Drive Films? Is that what it is?
No,
Diamond
no,
Drive?
Diamond is actually my name. Diamond
Right.
Rivera Films.
Okay, my fault.
Yeah, no, 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 not a problem. Trust me. It usually goes by DRF. Um, I started that because I would put out these videos, but I didn't. I just would put it by Diamond Rivera. And for me, it was like, all right. As I got older, I wanted to have that notion of ownership. I wanted to have my own. I wanted something I could call my own and build. And when people can see me, they can notice me. Because if I'm having visuals, as you're a content creator, you need to have an established foundation. So I realized, all right, I need to be more serious. I've gotten business cards. I've even gotten a banner. Like, I've invested the time and money, and it's progressing. And it's only 3 years. And I'm young and I want to film forever. I mean, my thing is, I'm just happy that even one person loves what I do.
Do you have any maybe tips or advice for dancers who want to market themselves?
Yes. I think people have to realize too is as a dancer, when you're marketing yourself visually, it's not always about just filming in a dance studio. No, people want to see you at socials as a promoter, and I'm learning this from the promoters because they're talking to me. They're telling me what they want to see. What a lot of promoters really want to see is that the dancer dances with everyone because sometimes just showing visuals of you dancing with another dancer, professional dancer, it means nothing. After a while, we've seen it. Let's see you dance with someone who maybe is not on your level, because those are the people paying money to come to these events.
And I think that probably gives off more of an air of authentic, right?
Yes,
Right.
authenticity, because like, you can't just dance with the pros forever. You have to, everybody started somewhere. That pro was a beginner. Um, with marketing in terms of visuals as well, you know, you can of course start out with your camera, just have someone film you. If you want to teach a pattern you created, great. Don't be afraid to just put some content out of yourself. If you don't have that camera that everyone else has, no, you have a camera, use it. But if you're going to be more and more serious, you want to upgrade. You want to do that. I'm saying upgrade because a lot of people, I've seen iPhone photographers, they're great, but also give that respect to that person that put that $1,000, $2,000 in to create content and go home and have to edit it. Because when you do it on the phone, it's easier. When you're doing it at home on a computer, late hours, it's a different, it's different.
Nah, definitely, man. So I keep hearing you talk about promoters. So I imagine you must deal with a lot of promoters.
Yes.
Um, is there anything in your opinion that separates, a good promoter from a bad promoter?
Yes, a promoter that only focuses on the money and the monetary gain of their event from start to finish. We understand you're good. Most promoters know, because I've talked to them. They're not. If you're having an event, you're starting out. You'll be lucky if you really make money the first 1 to 3 years. Realistically, you're most times if you're not breaking even, you're losing. But it depends if you're going to stick it around, because you see these people, it's going to grow and it's going to grow. If you're going to put the time in, that's the thing too. It's people just have to just go all in. You know, it's no, it's people just so like scared to do things. It's like, yo, you got to just go all in and live your life. I don't know.
So I think I just so you're saying I guess maybe some of the poor performers are focused on monetary wise.
Yeah.
What are the good performers? What are they focused on?
So
Promoters. What are the good promoters
promoters.
focused on?
So with like the bad promoters are more monetary based and more just like only about the performers. With the good promoters, they're focused on the audience members. They're focused on the workshops. They're making sure the artists are good. They're making sure their attendees are good. They're making sure the workshops are on time, because nothing is worse going to an event that the Congress starts late, the workshops start late, the artist is not there. Nothing, it shows disorganization. And people may spend 80 to $150 on a pass, maybe 200. I've seen passes go 225. If I'm paying that money, I would like to go to the class that I paid my money for on
Get your
time.
money's worth, of
Yes,
course.
absolutely.
I definitely understand that, man. So I guess at this point, man, how would you define success for Diamond Rivera Films and I guess what are your goals for this? Is it to do it full time? Or what?
For me, I realized, I eventually want a family, but I'm always going to film. Film is always going to be a part of my life. My overall goal now is I went from starting to go to little events here and there now to go to outside of New York and travel, and people want me to film here and here. Now I've really thought about creating a collective of videographers and sharing the positiveness, in a sense that I want people to share each other's content and not be afraid to do it because it's not theirs. I've met so many amazing videographers, from Davin Wilson, Sean Batista, Ramon Brito. There's just, it's Elias Travers. There's so many videographers I have met. The list goes on, that have inspired me through their films. I watch other people's stuff. I'm not a person that just is honed in only to myself. I really enjoy watching other people's work and seeing what their eye captures. I really want to create and have that collective, that brotherhood, that sisterhood, that family organization of people that just love to film in our dance community and support one another and collaborate with one another. Because it's more about, for me, I'm more about collaboration and separation.
Let me ask you this real quick, man. This is something that I really don't know a lot about. I imagine others as well. Um, how competitive is the videography scene, if you get me, for socials and dance and conferences and all that?
To be honest with you, there were points when I first started, and I was a young videographer in the scene, and I would get the looks from certain people because maybe the promoter didn't tell you I was coming. That's also in the promoter's hand because, I mean, sometimes the promoters will, hey, I want you and I want you. They're not going to tell us both, hey, you got. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes it's just really the miscommunication with a lot of people. But there's been moments when, I get the looks from certain video guys, and all I can do is smirk and laugh because it's like, hey, man, I want to see your content, and I want you to see my content. I don't want us to look the same, and it's okay that we don't look the same. It definitely can be competitive in the terms that um, this promoter doesn't want to pay you all of that money because he can get someone cheaper. That I've seen that play a role, but a lot of times these videographers have to understand he can get the guy cheaper, but if the content isn't good, he ain't gonna want it. If your content is great and you're worth the price he's gonna give it, for me, I was starting filming for free. I would just go to these events and say, "Hey, man, I film. Cool. Let me see what you got." And I would constantly, it would just learn and learn and practice and practice. I mean, you know.
I guess you real quick. I kind of feel like I might be asking the same questions, man. But how do you differentiate yourself from another videographer? And what I mean is it just in the editing process? Because at the end of the day, you're both recording the same dancers, right? So is it the editing process?
Yes, I think it is the editing process and how I film. I've used songs from like DJ Soultrix, DJ Trunky, just like various DJs, that DJ Selfie, just a lot of different DJs. And what I would do is I was listening to the song, and when I'm editing, my focus is when I'm film or when I'm matching is the video to the music. It's more about the matching and making it flow because a lot of times you'll see videos and they're just like shot, 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 B-roll, B-roll, B-roll. But I focused on making it different, that I wanted to create a story or make people say like, wow, was this the song playing the whole night? And these people flowed the way through. That was the challenge to myself. It was like how to make myself different was like, all right, let's have fun and challenge myself and listen to a song from this DJ and say, all right, I got about 80 to 100 videos and I got to edit all of that and match it. And it's fun for me. It's enjoyable. I can do it like very fast now. It surprises me sometimes.
Um, oh, I want to say, man, I think I think it sounds like you say you 80 to 100 hours of video. Is that what you said, right?
No, like no. 80 to 100 videos. I
Okay. Oh
filmed
yeah. No, I
like
get you.
mhm.
I don't say like that's a lot of video. I feel like if you want to be a videographer, you have to love to do this. You
Yes.
have to love to sit down and watch 80 to 100 videos.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that there's people that's gonna say like, hey, you need to shave that down. But I always was told myself like, I'm going to film as much. I can film maybe from 20 to 100 videos, and I'll do it because that vibe of the night. Those dances look that great, or those moments look that great that no matter what, I'm gonna keep it. Maybe I'll not put it out, but I want to keep it because it looks awesome. And yeah, it's a process. Like you're editing 80 to 100 videos that's almost 15 to a minute long, and you have to watch and scramble. And yeah, it's a process.
It's a
But
lot of work, man.
if you love what you do, it's never work.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, man. Answer this. I don't want to hold you up. Real quick. What is your least favorite part, and what is your favorite part? Of videography.
My favorite part of videography is the ending part of posting it, and that person that I wanted to see it sees it, and they just like you can see them the next time at an event. They're like, "Oh my God, thank you so much!" Like the favorite part is of capturing that moment somebody else didn't capture, but maybe at that angle that nobody thought about doing. So I did it. My least favorite part, to be honest, is the the dancers who really don't know what they're doing and they're hurting these girls. I've seen it. I've
Speak on
seen
it.
the yes, absolutely. I will speak on that. The uncomfortableness that a lot of women feel with a lot of men who are very aggressive when they dance, who do not know. I understand you see bachata sensual and you want to do these moves that these artists do, but these artists train. The problem is that people go to workshops and I've seen it. I'm filming the workshops and I'm seeing the person who couldn't even do the move that they were getting taught and trying to do it with someone else and it doesn't work. You're hurting the person. I've seen these women that look uncomfortable. So that's why I say I see the good and the bad. Like I'm getting great shots, but then I'm getting other shots of like the awkwardness. That's
I,
yeah.
I say I know you see everything, man.
Yes. Yes.
um, I get real quick then. So,
Yeah.
do you have any words of advice to lead so that we can prevent, what you just spoke on, or
Yeah.
minimize it?
Yes, I think men and women, that is my one thing I really want to point out. Men and women can lead. The leaders need to understand that you need to, if you're doing these dances, make it comfortable. Whoever you're dancing with, bring a smile to their face. It's not about just executing a turn you just saw because not everyone's on each other's level. Like have an enjoyable dance rather than a dance to show something off you just learned. Stop when you're dancing. When these leads have to like look at the woman or the male's face. Look at the emotion. Are they enjoying what they're doing? Because nothing's worse than dancing with someone 4 minutes and you're so uncomfortable that it feels like 40.
Oh man, speak on it, man. It's really about that connection with your partner, right? That's so
That's
important.
especially if you're dancing bachata. That is close. And you want to make sure every dance is enjoyable because it's not about a body roll. It's about the connection throughout the whole entire dance and leads to not every female wants to be dipped. That is coming from the video guy who sees the girl's look or does not feel comfortable doing it. Maybe no is no.
And I understand that, man. Let me ask you this real quick, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. This might be like a bad question.
No, not at all.
um, maybe what is the best thing you recorded that comes to mind, and what is maybe some of the maybe the worst thing you recorded that comes to mind?
I um one of the best things I record a lot of times now have been coming from congresses, especially with the lighting helps. The dances I've studied, I get to see them more often, and I know, all right, you dance well with this person, or you dance well with this person. Um, it's really just like capturing that. That's it's the song too. The song makes a huge difference because there's artists or people who dance together that you can just who maybe have never even met, but vibe on that. Um, some of the worst things I've ever recorded are just like as I say, I call them the sleazy guys, like who just make the dance look uncomfortable. It just makes me. There's times I've actually put my camera down and had to after the dance talk to this person. It's a difference in me. Like if I feel I see a woman uncomfortable, I'm going to step and I'm going to let you know, please, man. Like she doesn't feel comfortable. And this time I've showed the guy the video. Look, yeah, and that's something I had to. That's different. Like I really took that initiative to do. I mean, I think that's the awkwardness in dances because nobody wants to go to a social or a congress and feel awkward the whole night.
That's so true, man. We come out to dance and have a good time, man.
Yeah,
Hey, hey. Um, I guess I know we're on a little time crunch, man. So I really want to thank you, Diamond, man, for taking time out here to talk to me,
yeah.
man.
I appreciate everything you're doing. This is an amazing podcast, man, and I'm blessed that I could be on it, man. Especially with the other guests you've had on, man. It's definitely an honor.
Man, of course, man. So yeah, I guess real quick, man, can you tell me, what are some of your upcoming events? I guess where will you be filming at?
Yes, my next event will be December 13th at the Bachata Rosa 30th anniversary. And then for the new year, I'll be building more of the dates that I'm going to do, just more tentative, especially because I also do military work. So, of course, that comes first before that. But hopefully, I'll be at the Unity Dance Festival next year. I'll definitely be at the Dallas Bachata Festival next year. I'm definitely heading back and going to Minnesota. I think I'll also be making a trip to Colorado next year, hopefully. But there's definitely a lot of socials I'll be at in New York. I mean, go to Bachata Rosa. I might also be at, as well, going back into the salsa. I will be doing Toda la Noche, which is on the Lower Manhattan. Salsa social, salsa all night. So me, I'm of course doing my bachata events, but I'm also now going back to my salsa events to have best of both worlds. And also I'll be doing some kizomba and zouk events. I'm going back into that world now too.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. I especially love kizomba. That might be my favorite dance. I started with salsa, moving on to bachata, but kizomba has like a
Yeah,
special place in
and
my heart, man.
for me now, I said I went from salsa, now I'm going from bachata, and I want to hit all of those dances and give love to everyone and create content that everyone can love from all those genres. It's not about just placing myself here. I want to hit everything because all of it inspires me.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. And you're really doing like a public service, man. For people like I said, like just the common folk, man, who may not always be able to record themselves, man. There's nothing better than
Yes.
having that highlight of your night. That's really cool, man.
And that's what I do it for because I was that person. I understand. I come from a different thought process. I went from the audience to the performer to now the person behind the camera, and I want to give my just due and give you, as the person I'm filming, I want to give you something you can hold on to.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. Real quick, man, tell me, how can people reach out to you? How can they get in contact with you?
Yes, you can reach me on Facebook, Diamond Rivera Films. You can also reach me on IG, Diamond Rivera Films. And if you go on YouTube, right now you can type in Diamond Rivera. I should be one of the first one that comes up. And I'm almost hitting 300 visuals, and that's just on YouTube alone. I think in total, I probably have close to maybe 400, almost five of socials, events I've done. And it's like, I'm a person that just loves creating the visuals in my scene and giving people a different look of themselves.
Hey, that's awesome, man. Real quick, one last question, man.
Yes.
Real quick. Can you give me? So I want two answers right here. Okay,
Yeah.
give me one tip that can instantly make someone a better dancer, and the second one being a better videographer. Give me one tip for both those categories.
So to be a better dancer, you have to you have to accept the unknown. You have to accept teachings and knowledge that you're unknown to. Because as a dancer, you need to progress, you need to expand, you need to, learn and better your technique. And if you're just standing at one point, you're never going to grow. You need to take classes in different companies. You need to take, workshops everywhere. Don't just subject yourself to one place. As a videographer, you have to, it doesn't matter if it's a festival, it doesn't matter if it's a social, it doesn't matter if it's a block party. Like, take the time to film. It doesn't matter if the place you're going to holds 500 or 20. People are people. Um, as a videographer, you have the privilege and to create stuff and put it on a media because again, media will never die. That's one thing. So even if you capture someone for 5 seconds to a whole minute, do it with a good purpose. Do it with good intent. Don't just worry about how many views I'm gonna get, how much money I want to get. Again, the money will come as a videographer. Don't worry about the money. That's my tip. Do not worry about the money. The money will come. Worry about the content you're creating and if it's true to you.
Hey, I think that's a great way to wrap this up, man.
Yes.
I really want to thank you, Diamond Rivera, man, for taking time today to talk to me, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank
Uh,
you, Two
uh,
Feet Podcast.
hey,
It's been
hey,
amazing.
hey. No doubt, man. So yeah, this will wrap it up for this episode of Two Leafy Podcast, man. Thank you so much, Diamond.
Thank you.
Hey, no doubt, bro.
Peace.
That's all it is. Hey everyone, if you made it this far all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. My overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers, to give them a platform to speak their story. So if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. I truly want to, just give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with the dance community, it means the world to me, because it gives me feedback and it lets me know what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon, what I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might maybe more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me, because that feedback just helps me improve. So please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this, because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.